Good day. This is Cast Iron ASMR with Get Jiro, the comic book. It's the #1 New York Times best-selling graphic novel. I just got this not too long ago. Do you know Anthony Bourdain? He's a chef. He's an author and like a food TV personality. When I went to see Supergirl a few weeks ago, I got to the theater a little early. And I thought, I got like a half an hour or so. The theater was almost empty. And nearby, there was the store where I can get some comic books. So I went just to take a look to kill some time. And they don't have a ton of comics. It's not a comic book store per se. But they had this, Get Jiro, and I looked and I thought, what is this? I'd heard about it before. Somewhere. Anthony Bourdain. Years ago, I listened to the audiobook narrated by Anthony Bourdain. He had 2 books. Maybe he had more, but like 2 famous books on food that he had written. And I really enjoyed it. I hadn't seen any of his TV shows or anything like that. So I thought we'd take a look today. I got this box here. Do you know the card game Wizard? It's pretty fun. I had played it years ago, many years ago. And then even a few years back, some friends, German friends, they enjoyed the game and they came back. I played it at their house. They said, do you know Wizard? I said, yeah. But their cards were different. They were German. And they brought me back this set of German Wizard. They informed me that the card game they believed was a Canadian card game. But this is the German version. It has different pictures. And some of the stuff is called different things because it's German. Anyway, I needed to have some bookmarks, so I just used these cards because I wanted to make sure in this relaxing Get Jiro review that we didn't have any unpleasant visual images. I think this comic book is probably suggested for mature readers, for readers who like the color red, the ketchup scenes. I call it ketchup because that's more relaxing than plasma. So I've marked the pages that are suitable for our relaxing review. Look at that cover. It's amazing. Let's get into it here. So here's the first wizard card. That means that I can go to here. Oh, it's the wizard. There's our hero, Jiro, with his fish. Is that a red snapper? I don't know. The art in this by Landon? That looks like Langoon, but I think it's Landon. To me, is reminiscent of Jeff Darrow, very detailed and intricate. And it also, I don't know if it's just the Japanese part, but it kind of reminds me. Also, look at this intricate city. It kind of reminds me of Seth Fisher, who's one of my favorites. Sadly, he is no longer on this mortal coil. Look at these great pictures, the meals, the sushi. It's like in a futuristic world in LA, Los Angeles, where people don't care about the movie stars or the rock stars or the pop stars. They care about the chefs. And the city is divided. Did you ever watch Avatar, The Last Airbender, the cartoon, or whatever, the movie, and the city of Bossing Say? That's what Los Angeles is like in this futuristic series. There's the inner circle, the outer circle, and they're controlled by two battling chefs. There's the vegetarian. Are you vegetarian? Okay. Pescatarian. Presbyterian. Look at these guys here. Look at these fellas. This is the place. That's him, dude. That's why I told you. Jiro has his restaurant on the outskirts. He's not in the inner city walls. Wow, man. Can you tell? These guys are a bunch of ham and eggers. They come down always bowing. They're trying to show respect. You come, highly recommended. To the great sushi bar. But then outside, there's a taco stand. That's where the workers are going to get their tacos. But inside, these three fellas are going to get some sushi. What do we order? Don't know. Pages like this are fun. Artists like this create a nice treat for your viewing pleasure. You can spend the time looking at all the details. Here's Jiro. Incredible, dude. Look at those. Oh, look at those. Perfect. Rice. Salmon. A little wasabi. Pickled ginger. Love my sushi, dude. This fella here says, I like mine with a lot of wasabi, dude. Jiro's watching. He's taking it. Oh. He's dunked it into sloppily, I might add, to his little dish of soy sauce and wasabi. This is causing Jiro we'll use these marked cards to go to the next section, as to not evoke less relaxing pages. Oh, look at this food. What's that called? The coins? Coins? Cones. You gotta put the I in there and take the E off the end. Coins. No, cones. I got some carrot, some salmon, and oh, what are those called again? I forget, but that's really nice. There's a sushi. There's a sushi food truck, and I know the people who run it. And on their rolls, they put, I forget what that's called, but it's a little bit spicy. Spicy. They put that on. And, careful. Oh no, don't look at it. There's ketchup. A smaller amount of wasabi. These guys here is the police officers. They know there's sushi. So here are the two leaders of the city. Everybody respects them. They're the two chef warlords, the overlords. We've got, I believe he's the French chef, and the hippie vegetarian lady chef. Look at the city there. It's just so nice to see such well-constructed drawings and architecture. It's kind of like Where's Waldo? In here, did you ever work in a kitchen? Look at this. You almost have to wonder if the artist did. Or maybe Anthony, Tony. Maybe he shared reference photos. What are they making here? Is that the sushi? And here on the other side of town are the hippies. They're growing. Look at this. They got a big high-rise. The farm. That's what that place is called. I like that in cities. Well, I like it. But also, I feel a little sad for the trees that live on buildings. It's nice for the humans. It's a little sad for the trees. They're growing all their own produce. Yeah, it's really neat. So there's the checkpoints. If you want to go into the inner city, you better have status or something. I don't know. You got to keep those workers out of the inner place. Oh no, there's fighting. There's big reservations for these restaurants. People wait years to get a reservation. And that's all that people care about. Dining. But then out the side of the inner walls, it's where the immigrants, the service staff, the restaurant workers, that's where they live and they eat. And that's where churros everybody, well, I don't know about everybody, but people aren't looking so healthy. It's like a feedlot out there. So these chefs, it's funny, I bought this and read this. And I also, a few days later, whatever, I bought a one-piece omnibus that I'm reading. I think it's the fourth one. And it was with the floating restaurant and the battling chefs. And I was reading this as well. And I thought, wow, because these guys are battling chefs. Even the hippies. They take their culinary profession maybe too serious. You want to be respectful to other cultures, their traditions, but ultimately, it's all just food. Look at this guy. What's he doing? I think these guys are going to have a problem with this taco vendor. What do you think you're doing? This guy's kind of a punk. Since when is sour cream and Monterey Jack Mexican? Oh, here comes the hippies. I think there's going to be a rumble. We can watch this part because it's at the very beginning of the rumble, and it's kind of friendly and relaxing. They brought their hose, and I don't know what that thing's called, and their rakes. But the French chefs brought their rubber spatula. That's a meat tenderizer. It said on the cover here, because this is new, I think this just came out, but it says that there's going to be an animated series, a cartoon. Nowadays, people don't like to call them cartoons. It's kind of like maybe this book. Someone would say, oh, that's a graphic novel. Because if you called it a comic book, then they would be embarrassed. People are so silly. They're just words, dude. Okay. So next we'll go to this saved section. Let's just imagine they have a nice pillow fight. And then they all go to sleep. What wizard card do we have here? I can't speak German, so I will not try. Looks like that is a peasant, maybe a farmer. It's a 4. A 4. These are like the suits. A 4 of this. I don't know what that is. What have we had so far? This is the jester, I know. In the English version, they call it the Dernar. So everybody wants the talents of Jiro. They've heard of this great sushi chef, the Outer Rim. So both the overlord chefs want to recruit him. Maybe that hasn't happened yet. They know, they've heard about him. They have heard about him. But he's going to visit his friend apples bon. C'est delicious. I'm not good at French either. It's delicious. Bon, that's good. Alors, I forget that one. Zut alors. What does that mean? Zut alors. Ah. Hello, Jiro-san. I thought you would not make it. How are you, Jean-Claude? Jean-Claude, the Frenchman. They don't specifically say, but I'd like to believe he's French-Canadian. Anthony Bourdain had a number of shows where he'd go around to different places in the world, experience the cuisine and travel. I really liked them. One time he came to Canada. He came to Canada more than once, I believe. But he said that Montreal was his favorite. He basically said Montreal was the only place worth visiting, I think, in Canada. A very nice cuisine, very nice metropolitan city. Please sit down. Regatele, something or other. What's he making? He's got some, what is that, blood sausage? Looks like he's sticking in, is that an apple? Looks like a Granny Smith. I heard one time Granny Smith apples were, it seems weird to say invented, but are from, I don't know if it's modified, but we're from Australia. And when I heard that, I thought, fairly recently. Oh, wow. I think they were like Granny Smith's apples, like she was a granny and they were on it. And they became very popular because they're very easy to transport. Is a weird definition, but like they stay, they don't go bad quick. So they're very good for exporting and importing. Look at him, look how happy he is. Food is the universal language. Oh, he's gonna put the plate on the ground so the kitty can lick it up. Oh, there's two kitties. That's nice. Look at this. So he's making, I'm sure he's making a broth here. He's got the cheesecloth pouch. He boiled the shoulder meat, the oxtail, and the tongue when I was a kid, very young. I went with my parents grocery shopping. I don't see it so much anymore, ever really, in the grocery stores I go to, but when I was a kid, depending on where you're at, I suppose. I think it was my brother who was like, take a look at this. Oh my God. And it was cow tongue. And it looked just like that, a cow tongue. And they're really big like this. And they're like in the styrofoam, whatever you call that thing. And then you put the tongue on and then it's wrapped in the plastic. And then we were poking it. We're like, ew, who would eat cow tongue? He's got some carrot, cabbage, turnip, and leek. Some good French bread, toasted on the fire. He presents it to Jiro. Some bone marrow, the best part. Celery. That would be salt as cell. It's probably kosher salt. broth almost clear. Moutarde, mustard, I don't think that's how you pronounce it. Moutarde. Two kinds, grainy and smooth. Oh, sea salt, that's probably what it was, sea salt, not kosher salt. Again, the sea salt. Rough in texture. The fries, and horseradish, if you like. Bon appetit. It's like a psychedelic satisfaction guaranteed meal. Pot au feu. Probably pronouncing that wrong too. Mais oui. This, even they don't get. And for special friends. Very nice wine there. I'm not a big wine guy. What is this? Mersalt. So, my friend, how does it go? I hear you've been having some difficulties. There are these two families, yes? As at home, too, which is stronger. So he's only recently moved to the U.S. and started this restaurant. I think they said, maybe 6 months or something. Saying you're the one they're fighting over. They both want him to work for them. So they're talking. He's getting the layout of the land while enjoying a nice meal. After a nice meal, this Frenchman likes to enjoy the smoke. Kind of looks like one of those cheap cigars, like a pom-pom. Like what Clint Eastwood would smoke. Thank you for your frankness and for the delicious food. Quite wonderful. And then, being Japanese, I don't know, by being presumptuous to say that he's going to the karaoke. Karaoke. It's not E, or else that would be an A-I at the end. Karaoke. This guy's up there singing away. Even the songs are about food. I think they're singing jingles for the hash brown brand. Then he's going to visit somebody. But let's go to the next section. Maybe we've got some more food. Oh no, he's looking horrified. This is where he's entertaining the French chef. Wants to see him, to recruit him. And he's got a fancy restaurant. Look at all the people outside waiting to get into his fancy French restaurant. Bob's Bistro. Is he French? I don't know. And he's up here with the chef looking down on all the dining fellas, people. And oh, alright. I'm not a expert on the etiquette of Japanese cuisine, but I know that's wrong. Don't ever stick your chopsticks straight up in any of your meal and leave them there. I think it has something to do, it looks like, I think, incense that people light, like at a funeral, like in memory of like people who have passed. And this here, yeah, they don't really use a lot of the soy sauce, and from what I've learned, you use your fingers to pick that up, and they really drive it home that you're supposed to put the fish side on your tongue. California roll. Big no-no. I wonder about the BC roll. I like the BC roll. I used to be from BC, Canada. Summer. Oh yeah. He's like, I know this is painful for you, but business is business. Like, come with me. Come with me into the back. Oh, this is where the magic happens. Look at all those. Look at all those chefs. Oh, look at that meat. Oh, there's the cowboys. That looks like a T-bone to me. Ooh, what's that? Ox? No, that's not an ox. Sheephead? Yeah, we're still okay. Over here, oh, he's gonna present him with an amazing meal. This is the wizard. I thought the back of his jacket, I wondered if they did this on purpose. Like a big roll there, but does that remind you of anyone else's red jacket from Japan? Like Canada from Akira. He had a pill. He had one of the pills, the capsules. Just kind of like that. I wondered if that was the same. Oh, I think I've heard of these eels. Fresh, and they're only available like a couple days of the year. What does he say about this? From northern Spain, $4,000 a pound. They're only available a couple of weeks a year. Simplest thing in the world. Creates the blissful enjoyment of a psychedelic trip. I was supposed to go to this page. I gotta remember my own system. When the cards look like this, facing this way, that's where we start. That's where we end. We gotta go to the next one to avoid anything that we don't want to see. You're gonna want to see the whole thing. I recommend this book. And we're only gonna look at the first story. And it was a bunch of, I think they came out as a bunch of single issues. And then became probably so popular that they made a second series, which was a prequel to this, his time in Japan before arriving in the United States of America. Oh, look, they're going to the fish market. They gotta check out the fishmongers. I like the term fishmonger. I wish I had the rivers near where I live and get fish unavailable to other fishers, like a grandfather closed license. So he's coming into the fish market. This is as far as we can go, because it's the 13. Look at that tuna. Is that the tuna? I've seen shows where they... Oh, I've seen just that. Look at that. Oh my goodness, so much. Is that tuna? I think that's the tuna. I had no idea, like when I was a kid, that tunas were big. And I wasn't a fan of tuna. And then I heard one time, people used to always call, well, you know, like, do you like a tuna sandwich? But I heard one time, I think it was a comedian, and they were basically just joking that in the States, they call tuna fish. Would you like a tuna fish sandwich? Tuna fish. He must have been a Canadian comic, and he goes, yeah, in Canada, we just assume the tuna is fish, and we just call it tuna. Like ice hockey? No, it's just hockey. Anyway. Some good fish. Yeah, to be honest, I go out for sushi a fair bit. But I don't eat like this. This is apparently the way you do it. Pick it up, fish side down. Really kind of drive that home in this cook. Look at this. This totally reminds me of Akira. There's the highway system going into the city. That's so they're driving around the city. That face. Now he's going to the rival hippie, the farm, to talk with Rose. She's the other head of the world of the city. She's offering whatever he wants, whatever he needs. Just work for me, she says. Look at him preparing. Such a feast. They're watching him. They're admiring his skill and technique. Everybody outside is eating the vegetables, but behind closed doors, what are they going to eat? They're cheating. They're eating meat. Not only meat, but baby ducks. Baby duck. But he's being sneaky. He's gonna bring the whole city down. He's got his own plans. Because they have plans. They want to use Jiro, Bob, and Rose. Here's a good kind of overview. There's the checkpoint. The outside of the city, that's where the regular folk live. The honest working. actually had, not Sham, it's like a parody. It's like we're in the Archie universe. Spam. I had Spam for the first time probably less than a month ago. Because I like to prepare Korean dishes. And years ago, when I was getting into this, I was shocked that Korean cuisine would include, processed American sham. But then I learned it was from the time when the American military during the Korean War were there. And, that's what the army bases, they were helping them out. Then they would use their ingredients after they left. They're like, oh, we got a real taste for that sham. Most famously, I think, is the Korean army stew, I think it's called. Anyway, I had it and it wasn't, prepared with in the Korean cuisine. It was kind of good. So then I thought, if I like that, maybe I'll try corned beef. You ever had that? Not as much of a fan. Oh, there's some spoon to cuffs. Looks like he's making some dashi. Daishi? What was dashi? Dashi. So this is nearing the end. And it looks like Jiro and Jean-Claude. Then the regular folk have got these two chef warlords on the run. They're bicycling out of the city. And it was kind of, because they were in competition, these two guys, but in the end, kind of looks like they're a little bit friendly. Oh no, they follow. That was pretty funny, actually. They're riding out, and then cruff. The bike crumbled under their weight. And they see the taco vendor. How happy they are to see taco vendor. They're gonna get a fish taco. And a couple cerveza. And it ends. It ends very nicely. And back in the city. Oh, now Jiro has his own new restaurant. As one of the workers, I think she was working for the French chef guy, Bob. And he's happy preparing his food there. Oh no, what's that eel? Look at how skillfully he fillets it. And then what's that called? Spatchcocking. I know that's with a chicken. Anyway, unfolding that guy for everyone to see. And then he's going to prepare it in such a way that it'll taste fantastic. So that's it. It's a wonderfully tasty and delicious comic book. And in the back, so the second series is by a different artist, but it's equally as good comics. But I especially liked Langdon Foss's art style. So from here we'll just look at a few of the character designs here. So we didn't see any of the pages with his big tattoo on his back. You know what So for bonus features, graphic novels, I don't mind the concept sketches, a couple pages like that. It's kind of neat. There's the scene, that's the panel where he sees back tattoo. Look at all the time he spent designing the tattoo, placing it on the back. Oh, Alice. I thought her name was Rose. I guess it's Alice. Maybe Rose is her last name. So I dig this kind of stuff. Even this is alright. You know, cool. Neat. I like this here. This is kind of reminds me of like stuff. If something like this would have to happen in the comic, it would be like Seth Fisher. Like if he wasn't wearing the hat, but it was implied it's supposed to go on his head. Jean-Claude. Like the city development. This part's getting a little weak. Like, we don't really need to see this. And this is where, like, do you like it when the artists are showing you their thumbnails and production ideas? These are even a little more finely defined, but like this stuff, I can do without. I don't need to pay for the extra pages to see this stuff. Like when you read a book, you want to see the crumpled up pages with the stuff they threw out, or like their little notes. I do not. But to each their own. So there we have it. Get Jiro. So this second artist, that's Jiro. That's Jiro there. It's a little different. But it's still pretty good. It's still really good. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look through this with me. And I hope you have a good night. So good night. I'm just gonna put my cards away. But feel free to close your eyes.